So, since kindergarten through 12th grade, you have been busy becoming more of some things and less of others. More knowledgeable, more competent in a variety of areas, taller, stronger, but you've also been becoming less of other things. You've disconnected with some of your childish ways and become less connected to childhood things, but hopefully you have learned to appreciate some of those things from childhood that you're going to hold on to. Hopefully appreciated the people who cared for you and mentored you. I want to encourage you to do that. But now it's imperative that you remember one thing, that you're meant to be still becoming. The question that we're asked all the way through what we're going to be when we grow up, I don't know about you, but I hate that question. How can you possibly know the answer to that question? How can you know how all the pieces and parts of your life are going to integrate together? How your current interests and your future interests that you don't even yet know you're interested in are going to assemble together into some perfect thing, and then you will be that thing that you feel pressure to say you're going to be right now. It's the very question that you're feeling pressured to answer that you yourself are asking. That's what you want to know. How are you supposed to know? It is not yet knowable information to you. After college and after living a few years abroad in different places, mostly in Russia, I came home and thought it was time that I should have now become the thing. But I hadn't. As a matter of fact, I matriculated into graduate school and realized I was going in the wrong direction. And I left. And I came back here to Danville feeling reduced. I spent the rest of that season helping my grandmother sort some of her collected things because she too had gotten stuck. I had gotten stuck. I hit a snag in life. On one of those afternoons, I asked my Mima my heart's most pressing question. But I want to say this season of life where I was stuck and snagged would prove to be the last time I could glean from my grandmother's wisdom because she would pass away soon after that. That was unknowable information at the time. So I asked her the question, how can I find God's will for my life? Especially when I keep messing everything up. I used the word sin. I knew I was a sinner. My Mima was special. She explained to me that sin is an archery term and it simply means missing the mark. That's on brand. I was missing the mark for sure. I hadn't become the thing that I had said I was going to become. But my Mima answered my question this way, and I want you to know this because when I was your age, this is what I needed to know. She said, finding God's will for your life is a lot like how a submarine torpedo finds and hits its target. She said when it encounters obstacles, going through the water, it will find its way around. And even when it looks like it's going in the wrong direction, don't worry. It will realign itself and find the right path and hit its target because it was locked into its mark at first. And as long as it keeps moving, it will eventually reach its destination. I was desperate for assurance. I don't know about you all, but there will come a point in your life where you will need that assurance that it will all work out. Mental notes that I took. I encourage you to take them as well. Number 1, choose the right target. Number 2, obstacles and redirections are not the ends. Number 3, keep moving. You will be on a lot of different paths. You will have a lot of different seasons. You cannot bring them all together, but God can. And it takes waiting, and it takes trusting. It's not knowable information for you what you're going to become, but it is to God. But you need to lock into your target. The scripture I want to mention is Proverbs 16:9. It says, a person, you, me, we make plans in our heart, but God directs our steps. The title of this little thing right now is Becoming. And interestingly enough, that is the name that God called himself when Moses asked him, what's your name? He said, Yahweh, Eyer, Asher, Eyer, but it basically means, I am the one who will become whatever you need, and I am the one who will cause you to become what you will be when you grow up. He wants to make us more like him. No one's becoming journey is a straight line. There's twists and turns and bends, and there's valleys and mountains, and there are sometimes really big obstacles. I want to name 2 obstacles that I know you've already hit, and I want to tell you you're going to keep hitting them as you go along, and I want to encourage you on how to get around them. The first one is when people speak unkind things to you, or when they say unkind things about you, you are going to have to develop a way to brush them off. They will hinder you. And everyone has an internal dialogue that is sometimes quite cruel. If you are one of those people who has a cruel internal dialogue, I encourage you to silence it by removing the lies with truth. It's going to take work, but you need to do it. That's the first thing. Brush off the things that are unkind. Don't repeat them in your mind, I beg of you. The second thing is do not compare yourself mid-becoming. When I struggled with comparison, I felt like the Lord asked me to go buy a bunch of seeds. It made no sense to me. I went and bought a whole bunch of seeds. I laid them all out, and I noticed something. I noticed that a lot of them looked exactly alike. But when they became grown up, they were entirely different. Do you know a poppy, a broccoli, a turnip, basil, lavender, mustard, all look exactly the same in seed form? That's you and your classmates growing up in high school. Still in seed form, sometimes sprouted, starting to come up. But don't compare yourself mid-becoming. It hinders your becoming journey. That's one of your obstacles. I want to leave you with one more analogy. I hope there haven't been too many. Torpedo, right? Lock into your mark. Go around the obstacles. Keep moving. Don't compare yourself in seed form. Give things time to become. We talked about that one. Brush off the lies, and you're going to have to be intentional about it. This isn't a platitude, guys. It's hard work to not repeat the lies and the unkind things. But the final analogy is this. I believe a sunflower is one of nature's greatest teachers, because sunflowers are heliotropic plants. And they do all 3 of those things that my grandmother taught me. They lock into the sun. They follow the sun as the sun moves in the sky. And that's why their stems are a little bit bendy. And they keep growing. But ironically, they have become the most like the object of their gaze. You are intended to keep becoming. Thank you.